If you're watching this video, you're probably either thinking about or planning on becoming a real estate agent in Georgia and trying to learn a little bit more about the process. Well, I'm going to tell you my entire experience of getting my license, passing the exam, and everything you should know that they don't tell you. First off, my name is Alice Lee. I'm a real estate agent here in Georgia, and I use my channel to share information about the buying and selling process, explore different cities in Georgia, and share my lessons learned as a real estate agent. All right, so in Georgia, the first 3 requirements that I want to cover is 1, you have to be at least 18 years of age. 2, you have to be a high school graduate or hold an equivalent certificate. And 3, you have to get a background check. Now, for the background check, it's super easy. You just have to go to a police station, pay $20, and they'll give you a document. I did not know that you had to get this done or you could get this done before. So I took the exam, passed the exam, went to the police station, had to go back in order to get my license. Now, to save you a little bit of time and trouble of going back and forth, go ahead and get the background check done ahead of time, get that paperwork and take it with you to the exam. So when you pass it, you can just turn everything in and then get the license there. Next, let's talk about the exam. So before you can even sign up to take the exam, you have to pass a 75-hour salesperson pre-licensing course at an accredited school that's approved by the Georgia Real Estate Commission. The other option is to complete a 6-semester course in real estate at an accredited school, but most people probably take the pre-licensing course to meet this requirement. So I took my course through Barney Fletcher, and I actually took the course a couple times. The first attempt was in college. I thought I was gonna get into real estate then and there, signed up for the online classes, and to be honest, they kind of sucked. It was just 75 hours straight of just PowerPoint slides of definitions. And I don't know what it looks like now. It might have, been improved since then, but unless you can just sit there and go through hours and hours of definitions, I highly recommend an in-person class. So the next time I took it in person. I took it over a span of time right before Christmas. So for 2 weeks straight, you'll go to class every single day and just knock out the 75 hours. I just liked doing that. Obviously, if your schedule doesn't permit, a bunch of programs have options where you can take maybe class twice or 3 times a week and then just continue that until you complete the 75-hour course. And remember, after this course, there's an exam that you have to pass before you can take the actual state licensing exam. So if you're anything like me and need to be in person to pay attention, just go ahead and skip the online class and just go in person. The next thing I want to talk about are the fees. The exam fee is $121, and you have to apply for the salesperson license within 12 months of when you take the exam. If you wait longer than a year, you're gonna have to retake the exam. I don't know why you would do that, but if you go ahead and pass, just make sure you apply for the license. So the license actually has a fee attached to it as well. It's $170, but this will cover your fee for your first 4 years of licensure. Now, something that I recommend here is go meet some brokerages ahead of time, because some brokerages will either cover your license fee or have discounted programs or reimbursement, things like that, so you can save yourself a little bit of money there. Okay, so now let's talk about actually passing the exam. Thankfully, I was able to pass it in the first go. And if you're anything like me, it's been a minute since you actually studied for anything, so you have to get back into gear to prepare for this exam. I think the key part here is knowing how you process information. I realize that I'm the type of person who feels like they have to read every single word of the textbook in order to be done with it, but it's not the most efficient way to get through the course, nor do you need to do that to pass the exam. Also, being an active real estate agent now, you don't really need a lot of that information, or if you do need it, it's an easy Google search away, so you just need to figure out how to pass. And the hardest part, I think, throughout this entire process is figuring out what information you actually need to know to pass and what information is just not as important. My recommendation here to be as efficient as possible, unless you are the type of person that really needs to read everything and can do it quickly, I think it's much more efficient to just practice the questions. And once you do that, you'll see that they tend to repeat the questions that have the most important concepts, and everything else will kind of fall to the wayside. Once you keep practicing these questions, you'll see which topics are the most important and the ones that aren't. In order to prep for the exam, I went through the CE shop. I bought their basic question prep for $90 with a coupon code, and it literally makes studying for this so easy, and I really felt like that's all I needed. I didn't buy any extra things in class. I just had the book and did the homework that they assigned. But other than that, all I really used was this questionnaire prep from the CE shop and just ran through it multiple times, and I felt like the exam overall was super easy. So in this question prep, what they'll do is for every single section of the coursework, they'll make you pass the exam for that section 3 times. And then once you get through everything, they have a final exam, and then you have to pass that 3 times in order to complete the questionnaire. And I know it's gonna seem like answering a bunch of questions, but just break it up. And I promise you, once you go through every single thing 3 times and then do the final exam 3 times, you'll be able to walk into the exam really confident. Once you pass, you'll need to get the document saying that you passed the exam, your background check, your money, and then a sponsoring broker statement application to get instantly licensed. And so this is why I recommend go ahead and get that background check done early and go find a brokerage that you plan on working with ahead of time so that you can get all these documents, take the exam, and then you'll get your license right then and there. Now keep in mind, after you get your license, there are education requirements that you'll have to meet. And within your first year, you have to get 25 hours of post-license classes done. And for any reason at all, if you can't be an active agent, I would recommend to go ahead and put your license in an inactive status. And so how that process works is instead of activating your license with a broker, you would just put it on an inactive status. But keep in mind, even if it's inactive, you will have to pay renewal fees. All right, that basically covers my experience on getting through the exam process and becoming a licensed Georgia real estate agent. If you have any more specific questions about the exam process or even finding a brokerage to look for, feel free to leave me comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.